You shall not make for yourself any idol. Amen. So what about those 10 commandments? We heard them twice today, you may have noted. Once when Roger read them from the Bible in the book of Exodus. You may have noted that we essentially started with them as well. These 10 commandments, you may have noted over our life, especially in modern America, have actually become somewhat of a joke. People try to add things to it. Thou shalt not eat chocolate in Lent. Thou shalt not do X, Y, and Z. And we chuckle because it is kind of funny. So it seems as though in a certain way they've lost their power. They've lost their meaning. They've lost, you could almost say, their authority in even the life of the church. For even Christians chuckle at the jokes. But in the old days, they would build churches and they would put the law of Moses, the 10 commandments on the wall right above the altar. And on the other side, they would put the Apostles' Creed. I believe in God, the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth. And so you would see every day, every time you came to church, would be the 10 commandments and the creed. You may have been in one of these ancient, well, maybe not so ancient churches. And in the midst of it all, we hear that statement, you shall not make any idol for yourself. Years ago, I competed and sought a medal. I speed skated on the United States national and world teams. I tried out for the Olympics. And so watching those Olympics bring back amazing memories. They bring back the days that I would strap on my skates 2 or 3 times a day for 2 hours each time. It taught me perseverance and dedication and focus. When I sit there and watch those Olympians walk into the stadium, I am reminded, though I never got there, of the dream, the desire, the work, the dedication it took to even be able to touch, to want, to hold dear. And every one of those athletes, every single one, whether they know they can't do it or not, their want is to stand on the top of that podium, to have their flag be raised, to hear the national anthem. It is a want, a desire, a focus that can become so directed that that medal becomes something more. And we walk up to the table that Jesus overturns. A table filled with idols. There's a play called Man of La Mancha. You may have heard it. And in it is one of the most famous songs called I Dream an Impossible Dream. I can even hear the tune as I say it. Right? And I just love that song. Dreaming an impossible dream is what we teach every child, reach for the stars, climb, dream, hope. Think of the number of children's books that look into the sky, into the desire of something that might seem, well, impossible to achieve. But don't stop, we tell our kids. I was told. You may have been told. Certainly, we may have told children. And what's the matter with that? Is there anything the matter with that? I'm not sure that desires and dreams, wants and wishes have any problem in our lives. There are no prohibitions about dreaming, about hoping, about reaching for those pies in the skies until something starts to slip away like an onion. And those extra pieces, those ways of life that might not otherwise seem important, are actually narrowed and narrowed, and they come down to the single nugget that we can never let go of, even when we think it's a dream. Even when we think the pie in the sky can actually become our own. We find ourselves seated in that marketplace, at the table of the idols. Now, we all want to say, at least I want to say, but I need things. I need to reach for things. I need goals. I've had goals my whole life. I've wanted things. I've needed things. What about those things that we've wanted that are simple, right? A brooch from a grandmother that might bring back amazing memories. A tool of a father. How gender specific are those two things, of course? It might have been mom's tool and dad's brooch, but I'm not sure that would make sense. But those things, those desires, that hope, that dream, that need turns into the bigger house, the fancier car, the nicer clothes. That the need decides to turn into something that we can never let go of until we get it. And when we get it, it feels as though it's not enough. We want to tell people, others, to do the same. Or that they're, or none of us, are good enough. And we want to say, it's so easy for me to say, I want to be like Jesus and turn over those tables, right? I mean, if Jesus says go and do, well then let's go and do and turn over those tables. But that's when we become God. And we choose to judge what an idol is and what an idol is not. Those churches with the Ten Commandments on the walls were built primarily in the Enlightenment age after the Reformation, when literacy rates went up. And every Sunday, people would walk in and they would see them. They would see the words of God and Moses and the church on the walls, and they would read. You You shall not make for yourself any idol. See, I even go back to King James, I think, in that one. If you want to see it, there's still a church in our diocese. Christ Church in Bethel, right, Duncan, down on Route 12 between Randolph and Bethel, and it says, it has those two things. I have always wondered, and I've always wanted to